What is up, everybody? Another happy Sunday and another edition of Gun of the Week. But this week is going to be a special edition. I am calling it the Duty Edition. I wore appropriate colored shirt and hat for the Duty Edition. Maybe it's baby duty, I don't know. But either way, the Duty Edition is on. So for today's Gun of the Week, we're going to be going over and talking about my duty firearm. So this is my issued duty weapon from my agency. It is empty and safe, as I just showed you. I'll show you again just in case anyone gets a little cranky. But all right, so here we go. Glock 34 MOS Gen 5. It is bone stock on the internals. Obviously, we cannot mess with any of the internals or change any of the actual mechanism of themmess with any of the safeties or how it runs. So we have to keep it completely stock, which I don't mind. The Gen 30, the 34s and the 35s, they come with a competition connector, so it's a slightly better trigger than the 45 and the 47s and all the other ones. It is a slightly longer barrel, so a normal 17 or no longer make the 17. I don't know if you know that, but Glock's discontinued the Glock 17, and they now have the Glock 47. I don't want to get into the details right now. I don't have a 47 to show you, but the details aren't that big of a deal to justify the change. But anyway, but the 34s and the 35s are Glock's competition model. That's what they're marketed as. So they have a slightly longer barrel. So you can see here at the end of the frame, that's where a normal Glock 17 or 47 would stop. So this has a little bit of a extra barrel length and extra slide length on the top, and again more accuracy, stuff like that. It's meant for competition, so naturally it should be good for duty carry. When the name of the game is accuracy and speed, I think the competition guns have a leg up, so why not? So we'll talk about what I got on it, because it is a build. So I actually had the luxury, or not the luxury, I had the privilege of being our agency's armorer and being able to help put this together for all the stuff that went into this pistol. So we ordered all the Gen 5 Glock 34s, and then I ordered all of the parts individually. We'll talk about the parts that I ordered to put on this. So obviously this is not stock from Glock. Hopefully you can tell that. So we'll start, and I'll let you know what I got on them. So we'll start at the front, which is the front sight post. This is a Dawson Precision. They have front and rear suppressor height, or a true co-witness sight. My red dot's off right now, but it is a true co-witness sight. The reason we did that is for redundancy for a duty pistol. Just in case the dot goes out or breaks or something happens in the field, you always have Old Faithful, your front and rear iron sights. They are tritium glow-in-the-dark sights. So I don't want to say they could never fail, because I've seen a lot of iron sights fail, but they shouldn't fail. Very good quality steel or aluminum. They have a set screw in the top, so it should not come loose or move from side to side. They've been Loctited and torqued down to spec and all that good stuff. So we'll go to the weapon light. This is a Streamlight TLR1 HLX. It is the brand new version. I believe they're 1,000 lumens with a regular CR123 battery, but the rechargeable CR123 that it comes with it, on a full charge, it gets up to 1,500 lumens, and it has a crazy amount of candela, so it really does push the beam out there, breaking through those photonic barriers. For all you nerds out there, you know what I'm talking about. If you don't, do some Googling. But it also does help with obviously identifying any threats or non-threats, and it also helps with blinding the crap out of people if they need to be blinded with a weapon light. I do not prescribe to the whole, shooting with a handheld flashlight when I have a light on my weapon. They have two completely different purposes in law enforcement as far as I'm concerned. Back in the day when guns didn't have accessory rails and weapon lights, then yeah, obviously you need a handheld torch. But nowadays you have your handheld torch for, vehicle searches and just, mundane, regular things, traffic stops and so on. But then you have your weapon light for when it's time to have a weapon out. If I have a weapon out, I'm dropping my flashlight and I'm going to my weapon. So that's just my personal thoughts on that. But this is brand new. I'm kind of T&Eing it, testing and evaluating it. So far, it's really good. They did change from the push up and down lever that they used to have on all their old TLR1s. Now you have a push straight forward. I gotta be careful because it'll blind the hell out of you. But you can push straight forward on this, so I do like that because with my finger here, I can push forward on the weapon light for the momentary on and off. I really do like that. You may also push down and it keeps it on for a steady on. So, you know, a lot of good options, a good update in my opinion from Streamline. Let's see. Oh, the other good thing about this light is there is a lever on this side here, and then there's a button on this side here, and that allows this front part to fold away to access the battery compartment. So no longer do you have to take the weapon light completely off to change a battery. You can leave the weapon light on, and you can change the battery from the, let's see, still figuring out how to do it. There it is. Push that up, and this comes right up, opens up. Pretty cool. And then push that down, and it locks into place. All right, so yeah, definitely, I see you, Mike. Yeah, it is about time that they upgraded to this weapon light. I really do like it so far. It's reliable. I'm not a huge fan of rechargeable things, only because in the field, you know, it's hard to plug stuff in, and let's just be honest, a lot of cops and a lot of people don't keep up on their equipment. So in my opinion, it's easier just to have a change of batteries. But the beautiful thing about this is it's either or. I can have the charged light, and if for whatever reason that dies, I could have a pair of CR123 batteries in my car, and I can just swap them out or have it in my kit and swap them out whenever needed. I always carry batteries on me, always have, always will. All right, I digress from that. We'll move back. So you guys might notice that I got some new hotness on this. Again, I handle a lot of the ordering and a lot of the equipment for our agency's firearms, and this is something that we decided to go to. All of our weapons have Trijicon RMR, RMO6s, the 3.25 MOA dots, but from now on we are only going to order the Trijicon RMR HD2. So the HD2 is a 3.25 MOA, just like the RMR 06. They have an HD1, which is a 1 MOA, a little bit small dot. Again, I like small dots, but not for everybody. But the beautiful thing about this, you might notice it is a bit bigger, but what's really cool, it is a top-mounted battery tray. So changing batteries on this is super easy. Again, being the armorer, every 2 years we change our guys' batteries. I have to physically take off the optic, change the battery, put the optic back on, re-torque and re-Loctite everything so it stays on there nice and tight, and then we have to re-zero. So to avoid that pain in the butt, we're just going to the RMR HD series, so we do not have to worry about that anymore. It is a little bit bigger of a housing. It is a little bit bigger of a window, which obviously is cool. It still does supposedly have that RMR reliability and durability, which I believe it does. I've been running this on my weapon now for a couple months, and I've had zero issues, but it does hang over a little bit more. It's basically an SRO body, but with the RMR patented arc at the top and the little Batman ears. It does have it is a sensor, a light sensor on the front, so if you choose to put this on automatic dim, it senses the light input, and then it will adjust your dot brightness to whatever environment that you're in. I think that's a cool feature. I personally don't like it. I'd rather be in control. I'd rather be able to decrease or increase my brightness as needed. But again, I'm one of those gear guys, so I can do that. The average patrol officer may not be thinking about that at the time, so having an automatic dimming is pretty cool. I already talked to you about the rear Dawson sight. The optic is held onto the pistol by a C&H precision plate. I do not like the stock Glock plates that they send in the MOS series. I've read some things, I've seen some things, I've seen them fly off. Some of the screws don't go down far enough, or they go down too far and they break or get in the way of your extractor plunger, all that other stuff. So I really do like the C&H precision plate. As long as you guys Loctite and torque spec everything the way it's the factory says it should, I've never had an issue. I've never had them come loose. I've never had them fly off. I've never seen them break. Not to say that they haven't, but I just haven't seen it. So that's a C&H precision plate. Fits up very, very nice and keeps it pretty low profile, so it keeps it low. I do have some Talon grips. I believe this one's called, they're just stick-ons, right? And didn't change the weapon in any way, but they are the granule texture. So they have several different textures, and the granule textures is what I would call like a skateboard grip tape, or, you know, sandpaper, if you will. I really do like that. Blood, sweat, you know, goo on your hands from eating tortillas or whatnot from lunch. This will help you keep a hold of pistol very nicely. And when they wear out, peel them off, put new ones on. Super easy, and they're pretty cheap. I do have a magwell on there just to help. It's a very small magwell. This one's from Strike Industries. Again, I like magwells, but I like to keep it nice and low profile. And then I have the medium back strap on the back if you care. But the medium back strap just helps fill my hand properly, and I do like the extended beaver tail that the back straps give you. They don't come that way, you got to put them on, but they come in the box, right? So, yes sir, this is my duty gun. I know you're just joining me. I see you down there, bro. This is our duty weapon. This is what you get issued from my agency when you come and work for us. But that's really about it. Everything else, like I said, is stock. All the internals, all that good stuff is stock. We do not mess with anything. We keep the reliability as high as possible, and we service his weapons to Glock specifications. We're all Glock certified armorers and stuff like that. All right, so since this is pretty simple and pretty quick, down and dirty of my issued duty weapon, if you don't know, the 34 is chambered in 9mm. 35 is chambered in 40 caliber. We used to have those. We swapped to 9, thank God. So yeah, we run Safariland pretty much like everyone else in the world. I know that there are some other holsters out there, but Safariland, I've ran Safariland for over 15 years in my career and so on, and I've never had an issue with any of these Safariland holsters. It is a 7360 RDS series and level 3, and they just work, and they work great. Obviously, you got to have an extra tourniquet. Run the QLS system. It's really good for lots of different things, but you know, in law enforcement, sometimes you got to take your firearm off and store it in like a lockbox, or in your car's lockbox, or in the jail's lockbox. So this makes it nice and easy to just take this off of my duty rig, and I can store the entire thing safely in my car or in my safe or whatever, what have you. So I really do like that. This is a level 3, so you got to push down, push forward. You got to hit the ALS, auto locking system, and then you draw the weapon from there. So I'll touch on my duty belt, since it's the duty edition of Gun of the Week, and we'll go real quick through it. But I do have a Core Essentials. This is their Molly battle belt. I freaking love Core Essentials. They use a ratcheting system, very much like a rollerblade or a roller skate. You just place it in, and it locks into place. So I really do love Core. They make great stuff. Their inner belt, it comes with an inner belt, and the inner belt is awesome as well. It allows for micro adjustment. So, you know, when you're eating lunch, gain a little exercise in the belly, you can just pop out a couple of adjustments, and then when you want to get up and go back to work, you can push it tight and you're ready to go. So I like that. I use the S-Tech Kiwis, or S-Tac Kiwis. These are the double pistol with a space. They have one without a space, which makes this very close, and sometimes the base plates hit. So just so you know, I use the one with the space. I do have an S-Tech single 5.56 shorty. Just pay attention if you're going to buy these, because they come in mid or highs, and that's basically how high this comes up and down. I like the shorty because the way I reload, I'm able to get a really good gross motor function grip as quickly as I can. Sometimes with the higher ones, you can only get a very small part of the mag to hold on to, and sometimes it's hard to draw under stress or speed. So I like the shorties. Gerber multi-tool, just really good to have. I use it constantly. You never know when you're going to need one. Live the Creed med kit. It has a full med kit in there, at least a blowout kit for major trauma. And then we also have XStat. That's in our SWAT rigs and our SWAT belt, but Yeah, XStat. If you don't know what that is, look it up. It is amazing stuff. It's basically going to replace Quick Clock combat gauze. Cat tourniquet. Like I said, I have multiple. I actually have 3 on me. I have one on my gun. I have one on my belt, and then you might not be able to see it, but on my duty rig, I have another one on my vest. So you can never have too many tourniquets, right? This is actually an old ASP handcuff case. I just really like it. These are Smith & Wesson handcuffs. They're hinged. We only allow hinge at our agency, but they just fit. They look nice. They match the rest of the belt. And then finally, the hanger is a True North Concepts. True North Concepts with the QLS female attachment. This is aluminum. It keeps it very straight. It keeps it in place. It is super rigid. They're awesome. The only thing I would advise you of, do not mount them through the MOLLE. This aluminum will eat right through the webbing on most of your duty belts. So ask me how I know. I can show you the broken one. I still have it somewhere. But basically, when you mount it over the belt completely. Screw them together. And then what I did is I just added some hook and loop or some Velcro on the inside so it adheres to my my inner belt. So you can just get away with it like that. And then this thing, Core Performance Ice Vent. It's a holster pad. So this squishy vented material is actually what touches my leg, as I have a thigh strap to keep it secure to me because it is a drop. But this is a lifesaver. No hot spots, no pressure on my leg. If sometimes falling on it or wrestling or grappling on the ground, this really does help a lot. So again, Core Performance Ice Vent, pretty awesome. All right, well, I appreciate you guys hanging with me and sticking with me, seeing what I run on duty. If you guys want to see more equipment about stuff I run, I have patrol stuff, I have communications, SWAT stuff, different vests, all that good stuff. So if that's something that piques your interest, drop me a line, let me know. I'll be happy to do a video on that too. Like, share, subscribe. If you have any questions, put them in the comments below. And I will see you next week for Gun of the Week. Y'all take care.